press that button to make it green, and then we should be good. So. Okay. Okay, so turn it off and turn it on again. So just turn it off and turn it back on and see if that does it. Yeah. Just 1 second. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Just give it a second until it's green. I might have to do one thing on the computer, but we'll see if it comes back on there. Okay.
Oh, that's the one I did last week. Is yours leaned back?
No, it's good.
You want to switch? I don't know.
Hey, look at that. I got a little smiley face here.
Aw. Is yours leaned back? Probably
Okay.
so.
If it's
No, it's good. Hey, look at that. I got a little smiley face here.
Now I can hear us.
okay. If it's
Yeah.
all right. Hang on.
We can hear you fine.
You just
Preston,
don't,
can you guys hear me?
yeah,
Yes.
you just don't have us. We got you though. That's all that counts.
We got you.
All right. Hang on.
We can hear you fine.
You just
Preston,
don't-
can you guys hear me?
Yes.
You just don't have us. We got you though. That's all that counts.
Take delay.
All right. Hang on.
We can hear you fine.
Preston, can you guys hear me?
You just don't have us. We got you though. That's all that counts.
Take delay.
All right. Hang on.
You gotta turn it. You gotta turn one of these off.
Look at you, Preston.
Turn the squelch down. It's not. It's
Yeah,
not
exactly,
him.
it's squelch.
He's got his speaker and the phone, the microphone and the phone together. That's what's causing that.
Can we call him?
He's on the phone.
Hey, we got it. You should be good.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
But we got all this feedback.
Yeah, we're getting feedback because your phone's on.
But we got all this feedback.
Getting there.
Isn't that great?
Okay. Can you try one more time the turning off and turning on the camera? I don't know why.
He's talking to
Preston, he said, can you turn
Turn it
the
off.
camera off, turn it back on, please?
What'd you say?
Right now, the green button is slowly flashing, for whatever that's worth.
Green buttons are fading, yeah.
Oh, I gotta continue.
Maybe, maybe.
So we had it set up so he could handle it from his thing, because we've had so many issues.
That
Yeah,
ain't
no,
working.
well, I just muted it so you don't hear the feedback.
He's talking, I can't hear him.
What?
I'm good, thank you. Look here. You didn't find it. You didn't find it.
No, there's beer in there.
Is it really?
No.
Okay. Okay.
All right, Mega, what we got?
Okay. So the video is still not working. I'm trying to figure out
We
how
can
to get
see
it
you.
with just the audio. I might turn off the video on here. Let me try this. So it's going to show now radios, and then I might turn off the video on here. Let me try this. So it's going to show now radios, and then I might turn off the video.
I don't know.
Let's go. We don't need this.
Okay.
It's driving me crazy. I muted it because I don't want to blow out my eardrums.
Why not? You got another one.
There's also 11 minutes of citizens' time that we're wasting here. You know what I mean? I know. It's ridiculous.
Why do we wait till 5 also?
We can hear you fine.
What we got? All right, 7:13, June 7th, calling to order the Park Streets and Rec Board of Poolsville. What we got? All right, 7:13, June 7th, calling to order. Mute. There we go, thank you. All right, so Jeff's here, Doug's here, myself, Gail, Tim, Pat, Preston. Niles may be here remotely. He's working on it.
He is. He's here.
Yeah. Anybody got any announcements they want to throw out here first? No announcements. Okay. We do have citizens' comments on agenda items. There are citizens here. We'll bring you guys up when the agenda item comes up specifically. We good? Okay. We got the minutes from May 3rd. Anybody got a motion for me?
Make a motion to approve the minutes as published.
Okay, anybody second that?
Second.
Pat and Doug. All in favor of passing the minutes of May 3rd?
Aye.
Aye. And you abstained, gotcha, okay. Unanimous. Tim abstained.
So we're all caught up on minutes then?
Yeah.
March, April.
Okay, first one is the parade event and application. You guys come on up to the microphone. You have to push the button under the, in the center there so that the microphone's working.
My name is Haripriya Jingri, and address is 13 Jonesville Court, Poolsville, Maryland 20837.
So it looks like you've applied for the use of Whalen Commons, July 22nd, expecting about 400 people, and maybe a parade on Fisher. That says if you do the parade, I guess the permit still needs to be submitted for that, or the application, I guess. This is on the agenda, so the Parks Board can hear the applicant. Okay, so yeah, so if you could just give us a little,
Yeah.
that's the little blurb I've got here, so.
I I changed the date for July 29th. And today I submitted the application for the Fisher Avenue, for the road.
Okay. And parade.
The application for the Fisher Avenue.
Sorry about that.
That's what she said.
Yes.
I did not place the notes.
So, I got a question. Can we
Hit your button, Tim.
Can we say okay to the parade? Are we allowed to shut the street down? Do we have to get a hold of the county,
I was
state?
gonna ask you a little bit more questions around that topic, but,
Yeah, go ahead.
well, I guess if you give us a little bit more information about, yeah.
What is this event about? I'm curious.
So we did the parade last year, but we did it
Give
in the
us a little bit more
Commons.
information about,
We
yeah.
did it around with it.
What is this event about?
We got
So we did the parade last year, but we did it in the
Just a little bit
Commons.
more information about,
We
yeah.
did it around with it.
What is this event about?
Yes, so it's a cultural event. We had it in the Commons around the park last year. So this time we decided to do it around on the Fish Avenue. It's a cultural to have a walk from the old town hall until the Westerly Avenue, and then come back to the Commons. So it's like a walk for like 45 minutes up and down to 1 hour, depending on the speed of the walk, the procession. It's just like people are having singing and dancing, and it's just some cultural event.
So-
We'll have a little cart that we pull on the road, so people will be pulling the cart, and we have 2 police that they usually do for our temple in Potomac. So I already communicated with them today, and they agreed to do it. They said for the side roads, they will, if we have some volunteers, they can put some cones and stuff.
Gotcha, okay. Technically, I mean, myself, and you may have the questions, or, I don't know how, you guys know how the request is put in to physically close the road, or
Well,
is that something that has to go through?
See, we just own that, that road is just given to us.
Right, this would be the first.
This is kind of new with us, okay? So a couple issues, when you closing the road down, you affect the businesses that are in the town. And so like Poolsville today, they know what's coming, we've been doing it so long, it's not an issue. So somehow we would have to contact, or they would have to contact the businesses and say, hey, you're going to, there's no business, nobody can drive to your business on a certain, the date you're trying to get it. So I don't know how we'd approach that, guys, in all honesty.
Well, how long, I mean,
They said 45 minutes an hour.
What
Oh,
time
for-
does it start? Yeah.
12, if we start at 12, the procession, so
1
I will
o'clock.
say we'll finish by 1, the walk, 1:15. It depends on how.
And where's your starting point, finish, what do you want to do?
Town hall.
I was thinking the old town hall there,
Okay.
from there and to Wisterly Avenue, and then come back here to the Commons,
So you're going to go down, and it's just stay on 107 and come back in?
just the Fisher Avenue.
Well, you could just loop around here, right there, loop around and come up this way.
What
Wouldn't
if-
impact
well-
the whole street.
Well, the town only owns, the town really only owns the road from, by the elementary school.
From Wooten Avenue
Wooten
down to
to,
the
Elgin.
That's ours now.
So if you went to Westerly, that's out of our jurisdiction.
We're not going to Wesley, I don't
But-
believe it.
Oh, I thought the lady said Westerly.
Well,
But-
we can turn around and come back from there.
Where you're turning around?
By the, just before the Wisterly Avenue, just before
Wooten
that.
Avenue.
Oh, open it, okay.
But, we're looking at a state road, though. I mean, we're putting the cart before the horse here. We have,
we own this.
yeah, but you can't close a state road without getting other people involved. I know we own it, but
It's our jurisdiction.
am I correct about that?
No, this is truly ours now. I mean, we can
All right,
do.
sorry.
But I know what you're saying, but everybody still considers
That
that
doesn't mean it
there
should.
is a flow of traffic coming through.
So I had a thought.
People would have to know about
I was curious, instead of maybe going from Old Town Hall, we've got the one stretch out here that is potentially 3 lanes.
Yes.
Could we potentially, at least as part of the discussion, just close one of the lanes, with cones? And maybe, what's that? That's what I'm wondering. I mean, it's for discussion, and yeah, you've got the experience to let us know whether you think that would be good or not.
I might suggest, if you could do the parade around Wayland Commons on the red sidewalk here.
That's what she said they did last year.
And I
They were
think
looking to
that's-
expand.
And I think that's the reason we made a decision that way and not the way we see it leaning right now. Is when you walk everybody around out there now, or this year, you're going to be putting everybody in the sidewalk. And that's great because they're safer, they're off the road, and, they can keep an eye on it with the police officers. But I think the minute we go out into the actual driving lanes, I think we get too dangerous.
Yeah, and the other issue, like when we shut down this street for the, for Poolsville Day, we kind of marshal everybody on Cattail and then have them, there's a start point and an end point, and people, we know where the parade vehicles and stuff are gonna go. This is just walking, right? Do you know where how you gonna marshal everybody, where you're gonna start and end, and how's that gonna work? You understand what I'm saying? I think you run into the issues there, with shutting down the street down, getting people where they need to be too. You know what I mean? Is it making sense?
We do.
Early on.
A couple of weeks out, we put signs up.
Yeah.
And then-
I've never. I guess we've never had to worry about it.
And
because
another
this is
thing,
the first
when-
time I've ever had this.
In the past, well, and we only do Poolsville Day, we have a staff of 13 people that work when we close that road down, because there is Norris, and the other roads that enter into it, Cattail, and if you don't have people there, people will move the barricades and drive right through your crowd. You have to have enough people to support the shutdown. That's another thing.
Yeah, we will have enough volunteers, that we always have.
And do you have barricades and all that to
We
shut the
do,
roads
we
down?
have them. No, we don't, we have cones.
Well, the cones would work as long as somebody was sitting there, directing traffic. And when you do that, you have to have detour signs up telling people how to move through the town also. That's how we handle it. Because if you shut a road, you got to tell people which direction. So we have large signs with the arrow 107, arrows 109, detour left, get them down Wooten Avenue. And, so you have to think about where are these people going to move. Once you close the road, Traffic's still coming through the town and you have to get it around. So you have to have a plan, how are you gonna get the vehicles around this?
I
You know?
think this is probably a larger discussion because we have just acquired this road and really figuring out if we're gonna be allowed to have parades or not. You guys are asking a really great question that we haven't had to consider.
Yeah, you're the
yet.
first ones.
So thank you.
Maybe we could approve the
But
event.
I think right now, because it's in July, right, we wanna do this a little bit over a month out, that maybe we should think about doing the parade around Whalen Commons again this year while we can figure out what we can and can't do in terms of using the road for a parade. You know what I mean? I know it's gonna be a beautiful event, but it doesn't seem logistical within the time frame right now that we would be able to come together with what the town can do and can't do for parades. Poolsville Day's been going on for 100 million years, although the town's only 150 years old, but so it's kind of a well-oiled machine and all the volunteers and the police that go to shut the road down. So it doesn't seem feasible this year for that portion, for us to take the road, but we could do the parade if we all agree, like you did last year. And then it would open up a discussion for us on how we want to use the road in the future. Do we want to have parades? Can we do parades? What does it take? Does that make sense?
What if we shorten the walk?
Where would you want to shorten it to?
If we shorten wherever it's allowed to walk, wherever.
We could start.
Like on sidewalks, is that, I think the road shutting down is the biggest challenge, which in the future probably could be tackled. I just don't know about in this time frame. So where would you want to do it on the sidewalk, like coming from the elementary school down into the commons, or?
Yeah, we could do that. We could do
Because
that.
if it's
Yeah, because
staying on the
you've got sidewalk, except for the part near AHOP, you've got pretty wide sidewalk.
I'm
most
just
of the
throwing
way,
things
right?
out there off.
But for the
AHOP is sidewalk.
Yeah, I know it has, but it's not as wide, I guess. Is it?
That's the same.
Oh, okay,
It just doesn't occur.
gotcha.
But there's no sidewalk in front of the dentist office.
Yes,
Yeah, there
Oh, yeah.
That's where we park to go to the elementary
You mean there's
school,
no
so we
weeds
get
on the
to-
sidewalk?
So
There's a sidewalk.
that could lengthen, because the parade, it's festive, and that could lengthen your
Yes,
walk a
there's
little bit,
sidewalk
you
there,
know,
Jeff.
instead of just around the circle, you
Whoops.
could start at the,
I think that's a pretty good compromise.
I
If,
don't know
if
if we're allowed to do that, I'm just throwing things out in there.
I think you can walk down, you don't need a permit to walk down a sidewalk.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I think that's perfectly feasible.
It would be
I think-
400.
so that will not be closing the road.
Yeah, we just could, I don't think we can close the road this time. We just don't have,
How many people in the parade?
400?
300 to 400.
Not 300, well, they come late.
I'm sorry, sir?
Well, they do come. Well, for the
Depends on
eating
when they
part,
come.
we
for
they
the
are
eating
there.
part, there's a lot.
There's a lot of people. But for the walk, mainly people don't come on time.
Okay.
No. So we're gonna
100?
close the road for 40
Yes,
people?
50, maybe 50 people.
Maybe
50
50.
to 100,
So
I
the
would say.
sidewalk would be a nice.
That actually, I think would work perfect.
Yeah.
That would,
You all right, Chris?
And you could have people park at the elementary school if needed.
and then I think our board's gonna be tasked for next year,
Yeah.
figuring out how we go about shutting the road down for
Right,
requests like that.
I would love to be like, yes, this sounds amazing, but within the amount of time and the way that bureaucracy,
So can we
approve
the
event?
I have a feeling we wouldn't be able to get it to come together, so the sidewalk is.
Yeah.
Is the Commons free on the 29th?
July 29th. July 29th.
Vale.
July 29th.
Yeah, I don't think that's an issue. That the date and of the actual event's fine.
It was
So,
the 22nd.
Do I have to take permission from
Oh,
the
she
school
needs-
also?
Did you need permission from
Yeah,
the
but
school?
Kathy,
No.
Weekend,
they
I
know
think
about
so.
it in the office, so I'm sure they.
I mean, if you, no, I mean, I'm assuming they're gonna park here and people walk down the sidewalk to the school, kind of marshal there. I
Then
mean, it's a
come back.
public
So we can
place.
start from school parking lot and then walk down.
Finish here.
Right, exactly. As
That-
long
or-
as
or you
it's
could
on the
start- Or you
sidewalk.
could start here, go down and come back.
Great.
Yeah,
I don't see why
either
not.
way, yeah,
And that way you got everybody still parked here or around and.
yeah.
Yeah, 12.
So,
I would put it out on social media as well, just like, hey, come join the fun if you're welcoming people, but so that people are aware, hey, we're gonna be on the sidewalk you're welcome to come and see and enjoy, but, so people are more mindful when they are driving around, because just
Yeah,
for
sure.
fun, you know.
And you plan to do this again next year, correct?
Yes.
So what I would do, literally in September, I would check back in and say, hey, how are you guys working your program about the park?
We're gonna have
You know what I'm
to
saying, just so.
put
that
this
we
on
stay
the
top of
next
it,
meeting's
okay?
agenda anyway to
I
figure
will
out how
do
we're
that.
gonna do this.
Okay.
Yeah. So I make a motion, we approve the event, as we did last year, but not shutting down the road for the parade, at this time.
Here you go, Tim. Right.
What time's the event over?
We'll be
1:30.
setting up, it takes time to set up.
Yep.
So we'll start by 9 o'clock for the commons to set up and everything. And then the parade starts at 12, and then
They did the
we'll
event
finish by
last year,
1.
so I mean,
And then people enjoy until 3, 4, and then we'll clean up. As soon as we clean up, we're done.
So 4 o'clock? So it says.
No, we'll be cleaning up. I will just stretch it, maybe by 8 we're done.
8 at night?
Yeah,
So on the application, it says start time noon and
Let's-
finish time 1 to 1:30.
that's for the parade.
That's a parade
she said she had a parade
oh, that's
permit
the
as well.
parade, yeah.
I'm sorry. Where's the application for the event?
I'm not sure where that one is.
Okay.
I trust this town staff has
Yeah,
got it.
and then we did it
straight.
last year.
Yeah. We're getting thumbs up from now.
All right, I make a motion to approve the event.
Pat did
I already
already.
made
You
the
can
motion.
You can second
Oh, you
his.
made it, I'll second, I'm sorry.
All right, any more questions?
None.
Very good. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody
Sounds
against?
like a fun event.
Okay, I think we're good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing up the parade route, because now we have to figure out how we're gonna do that. Now that we own the street.
Yeah, why not use it?
I know.
Yeah, exactly. We just gotta get a plan together and see if it's
Yeah.
actually feasible. And like I said, and just remember, the biggest thing is dealing with, the commercial.
So I have to go talk to them?
Oh, no, you don't
not
have-
this time
you don't
around.
have to
Not
now.
this time
But that
around.
might be, if, it just develops, you might be required to.
In the
get
future.
feedback.
We'll get a process in
Yep.
place. We'll systematize it, because the good thing about Poolsville is that we have a system. We know barricades, they put town trucks at certain intersections so people can't drive through. We got people manning those intersections, and it's just gonna take a little bit of work on our part to formalize that, and then we should be able to make a decision next time around,
And-
hopefully.
like you
Fingers
said,
crossed.
shutting this major road down, it's a large task, and it has to be safe. That's the biggest thing, because we've had people move barricades, and here they're coming down, and you can't do that. You know, so you just gotta make sure you have people in place, barricades in place, but we'll work on that later, okay?
We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yep,
thank you.
thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Here, have a nice evening.
Thanks, yeah.
Okay, item number 2, Halmos Tennis Court discussion. Norm, you here for that, or you just here to?
I'm here to listen.
Okay, just thought, yeah, just thought I'd ask you.
Jeff, what's going on?
So, initially, we all talked about Stevens. Stevens, the estimate came in, I think, at $60,000 for us to do lights, and then we also had some pushback from local residents. So then we discussed it 2 meetings ago or something like that, the potential of taking one of the tennis courts at Halmos and making it a dual use facility here, just so that we could use the same kind of nets that we have over at Stevens that can be they can be rolled, and use that at Helmos. It looks like the email comments that Niles got, pretty much all of them I think were positive, except for one by one of the pickleball players. Because
Niles is agreeing, Louis.
yeah.
Turn it up, he's talking.
And then I guess when we were all, or is Niles talking?
Well, he was talking live, yeah. Say it again?
Sorry, we couldn't hear you.
Sorry, hang on one second. I don't think it's when we were all okay, so I'm just saying that they were all pretty positive except for one, and we got Facebook comments that were similar. They were pretty positive. There was one person who commented about the length at Alamos and how that might affect seeing the ball and such, but that's more of a technical issue that
Keep on the dark balls.
Yeah, no, I think that issue is actually that you have to angle the lights a little differently for pickleball versus,
All right,
tennis.
well,
But yeah,
okay.
that's, logistics, little
But
things.
pickleball is going to take over the world, brother.
The county is in the process of converting courts to pickleball courts. For places with their lights, I don't know where they might know if it's an angle change or adding an additional light. I actually know the person that runs it, Chuck Kynes. I could contact him to see if he has any experience in dealing with lighting problems.
That'd be great, yeah. All right, well, we need to decide first.
Well, I mean,
I wonder how many people are gonna use the lights at night.
Well, I'm concerned about that. I'm
There
concerned
are-
about that we're changing the physical structure in our development.
we're not changing lights for pickleball.
Right.
That we're not changing lights for
can't
pickleball.
anyways. The reason they are set up the way there is because the residents that are at the park, because if we go end to end, it goes into their backyards. So that's why they're on the sides.
Yes, I mean,
Oh, no, I wasn't talking about adding lights. The thing was, they were just saying you could angle
no,
them a
but
little.
we can't change the
We
lights
don't know
for
that.
pickleball.
We don't know that yet.
But guys, we're basically saying every single tennis court in town is going to be a pickleball court.
No, we're
and
not.
now we want lights changed too. Yeah, we are. That's what we're saying. And now we want lights changed too. And we're going to have to go to every single resident there and get them to sign off on the lights. I think the pickleball is. And the town has provided all this stuff.
But let me
I mean,
make a comment.
you can come up to the mic and make a comment if you'd like, and put your name on the record.
Just to back up a sec, this isn't a proposal for permanent takeover of the tennis court, though.
I understand.
This is just for a hybrid
I totally
type
understand,
setup.
but we're talking about, we already did the courts at Stevens, right? And they get tons of great use. I totally get, it's great. I see people out there. But now we're talking about the other tennis court in town that's strictly for tennis play. This is the only other one, right, that I'm aware of, right? And now we're gonna put pickleball lanes on, or tape, or lines, thank you, and nets over there. And now we're talking about changing the lights? The reason why we decided we can't do lights over in Stevens was because of the cost.
Because it was gonna be
And
used for a small amount of time.
Right, for a small amount of time. So now if we have to change the angle, we're gonna have to go to every single resident over there and see how it affects them. I'm cool for pickleball, but, it's just.
I don't know where this is on.
It was
Yeah, it's on.
It's
You're
on
good.
now. Go ahead.
Well-
Name and address, please.
I think it's worth looking
Oh, hey,
into because
Norm,
the issue
Norm,
is.
hold on. Norm, back up.
Name and
And
address.
just say your name and
My
address,
name
yeah.
is Norman Spencer, 17031 Tom Fox Avenue. The issue is that with tennis, the courts are set in. If you add pickleball lines, you're back another 10 feet. So you're going to be back in a dark zone. Actually, you may be just rotating that light. It may be less disturbing to the people that live in the area. You're
How
just-
does it affect the tennis players?
Well, that's where you don't know that's what it has to be looked into.
Right, so what I'm saying is not every single park is designed for pickleball players. We're gonna put pickleball courts over there. What's that?
Doesn't have to be designed for nighttime pickleball players.
Right, that's what, I understand the one in the use of the lights, but now can we even rotate those lights?
They're movable. I mean, up, down, a little bit left to right. So
think
you go.
the point-
We can look into it, but it's just,
I think the point is it just needs to be addressed.
Or
Is it
just
an
looked
issue
into,
gonna be
yeah.
done? It will be, will be dark back in those
What's
back
that?
areas of the court. The county should have some experience.
I would say,
I mean, I can take an action to get with the county and find out
do we, are we
what their
looking
experience
for
is.
a decision on something here or not?
Yes, we are.
Then I would say that pending additional time and research, we suspend changing field, courts.
I think
until
it's
we
okay
get
to
done.
I think it's okay to line the courts now and put the nets up.
That's what
Yeah.
And we can research the lighting,
Yeah, I got no
but we
problem with
can't
that.
do that right away. We can't just go out there and
No.
move the lights.
Right. Well, no, you definitely need to research it and
Yeah,
see.
because
what-
it's gonna affect the tennis players.
So we need a motion to, put the lines on the court.
Put the lines on and purchase 2 nets.
I thought we already approved that last.
So what are we doing?
Didn't
No, we held off last
We
month
held off, I thought.
because Niles we hadn't got the word out to the town.
Feedback and,
And feedback all sounds positive, except for
Coakley.
No, Ray Atkins. Ray Atkins had a lot to say about it too. Absolutely. He basically was, okay, we've done a lot for pickleball players, and they're putting up signs saying we can't play there, and
Well,
at a specific hours and
let
things
me
like
make
that.
one other point. The people that still work don't have very good access to playing pickleball, except on holidays and weekends. So this would benefit that group of people. And there's about 20
We're not
working
against the
people and-
pickleball lines. I think everybody here is in favor of the pickleball
Yes.
lines.
Yeah.
So,
But,
do you-
but I think what we need to be mindful of is that there's other people in other sports that use those. There's other people that were asking hey, how come we can't play, roller hockey on there? Right? So what I'm saying is, just because pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the United States, that doesn't mean that every single court needs to be set aside and be dedicated to pickleball, is what I'm saying.
Or adjusted
And we
to accommodate.
adjusted to accommodate everything that they asked for. I think the town has gone, above and beyond to accommodate the pickleball players. And I'm, again, for the lines on the court, and we can look into the lights, as long as it's not gonna affect the tennis players, is my issue. Because the other people still wanna use that to play tennis at night.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, and also just to point out, Stevens, like, I know Gray Atkins here was saying that he's had issues, I guess, over at Stevens. They still play tennis there as well, on that other half. People
Yeah,
come
I
in,
know,
they
but
play
he's- but
tennis,
the- but the-
they just
but
have
the-
they just have to move the nets.
Yeah, which, that's an inconvenience to the tennis players. Just like
Oh, I
the
agree,
light
yeah.
angle is an inconvenience to the pickleball players. You see my point? Like, everybody's gonna have to play nice in the sandbox, and there's other people that wanna use this stuff, is what I'm saying.
we move the nets every day practically. It's not a big deal. I mean, we move them because the tennis players move them off, we move them back. It's not an issue, I don't think, a big issue. It takes 5 minutes. But, so the other question would be, we have the templates. I mean, I have the templates that we used previously.
That the town provided?
Right, I'm storing them. We
Yeah, that's
actually have
fine.
2 sets of templates.
Yeah.
Do you want us to paint the lines?
Yes.
Well, we have to vote on it first.
Right, so has anybody got a motion, or want to make a motion?
What are we approving?
We're approving, we're turning
Lines.
one court at Stevens.
Or Helmos?
Is it one court?
Yeah, just one court. Just at your, so painting
I'm making,
lines,
oh,
yeah,
well, hold
2
on.
courts.
We also have nets over there for that too?
Yeah,
haven't
we have to purchase
purchased,
two.
So we're gonna have to purchase nets?
The courts would be usable with
Commissioners
portable.
have to
I was
approve
gonna
that.
say something.
Right.
The courts would be usable with portable temporarily. I mean, we'd still, if we hadn't painted, people would bring their own nets and use them.
Yeah, no, but I mean, if we're gonna put in
Long
lines,
term,
I'm
yeah.
assuming that the town's gonna have to purchase the nets, correct?
I would assume
yeah,
so,
storage
but we have to budget for them.
But, so we have to make a motion to the commissioners to purchase that,
Yes.
And
correct?
then what about a storage facility for the nets?
What's that?
Where are we gonna store the nets? You know what I mean?
No, they would leave them on the courts
They
and
stay
push
on
them
the
to the
court.
side.
Yeah, they're very nice,
Yeah, I
the
know
town
that.
provided.
Okay.
They're top notch. So I make a motion that we recommend to the commissioners that, they allow park staff, or town staff, with the supervision of town staff, that lines be painted, for pickleball on one of the Halmos tennis courts. And that, nets, be budgeted for purchase.
Can I,
Right.
which court?
Well, I'm just, you're saying nets plural, I was just gonna say.
Oh, two nets be budgeted,
Yeah.
yes, I'm sorry, 2 nets be budgeted for purchase.
Looking at the courts from the park, which court would be? You have to specify which court? Do you have a preference?
It doesn't make a
That would be,
difference to me.
that would be let town staff and these guys,
Okay.
I'd say work together.
Yeah, one.
All right.
So, but we need to,
See what the
we
light-
need to push this to the commissioners in order to get the
Okay.
nets purchased.
Okay, so we've got paint lines on one of the Helmos tennis courts and purchase 2 nets is the,
Oh, I'll amend my motion that they do a study
oh yeah,
on the lights to see if adjusting them would cause any issue with neighbors or with the tennis players.
Why don't we wait till they're approved? The court's approved by the commission.
I mean, they can approve all that at once. Saves. Does that make sense?
Yep. So do you want me to repeat it? Or do you want to repeat it?
Yeah, you want
Motion to recommend to commissioners for lines to be painted for pickleball on one of the Helmets tennis courts and that 2 nets be budgeted for purchase. Town staff and pickleball people, is that what you call them, will discuss which net.
Which court?
Which court, thank you. Motion to initiate a study on lights to see if adjusting them would cause issues with neighbors and or tennis players.
Okay.
Second.
And Doug seconds. Pat motion.
I don't have anything to say.
Any other comments?
No, it's okay. Doesn't say.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
He's
thumbs up.
got thumbs up, so he doesn't.
Cool.
listen.
All right,
Maybe
all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody in favor? Anybody against? Okay, we're good.
Good.
So Norm, it'd probably be good for you just to also, if you felt like it's showing up at the commissioners' meeting. In the event that they have questions, I mean. 2 weeks from this past Monday,
21st?
right? Is that right, Jeff?
21st?
Yeah, well, it was moved because there was something coming up. Let's see.
Isn't that Juneteenth?
Juneteenth is the 19th.
Calendar, back up.
Which?
Yeah, so it would have been,
As a sidebar?
Would have been the 19th.
19th is a holiday, so I think we moved to the 20th.
How did I miss that date?
What's the 20th?
No, I said the 21st.
No, what are we?
What's the 20th?
Oh, no, he's saying that's when the commissioners' meeting got moved to.
Oh.
June 19th is a holiday, it's called Juneteenth,
Yes, we know.
Yes.
and I believe the commissioner meeting was moved to Tuesday the 20th.
Okay.
Now, when's the next Parks Board meeting? What's that schedule?
July,
Can't, it's not the
it's
4th.
not on here.
So it would be or no, because the 4th, what is a holiday, or do the
Do we
commissioners
take
meet? Do the
July off
commissioners
or
meet on the
August
3rd?
off? And in
No,
past,
the
we've
third
taken
is
some.
That's a holiday as well, so it's the 4th, so we probably don't meet till the 12th.
No, it's just
July off or August? Can I just say that for a second? Yeah, that's one of the things we wanted to talk to you guys about. July meeting is July 5th. The 4th is a holiday and things like that. So we wanted to determine whether you wanted to do a July meeting or just skip to August or how you wanted to do that. So.
Well, I was telling you to say the second.
I have an idea. Maybe we push to the second week of July, don't do a formal meeting, but we do our walkthrough with Preston.
I'll be in Argentina. Won't be here.
Second week of July?
No, I'll be in Argentina,
Oh, okay.
like I said. I'm not changing my plans.
I'll be
Or another, I mean.
Well, the commissioners meeting's the 5th, when, the 4th, no.
Well, that's what we were just trying to figure out. I don't know.
3rd is.
I don't, it's a holiday. I think they're gonna
What's a
push, they're not
holiday?
gonna meet that week either.
That's what I'm thinking. They'll push a week back, like you're
Well,
saying.
if we meet, we'll be the following
Well-
Wednesday, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, let's see what we have on our
Yeah,
agenda,
we'll
if
decide.
anything, and we can
Yeah.
always,
But I definitely wanna see,
Oh,
have
yeah,
you guys
I'll
been
be
by
out
the
of town.
pollinator patch?
What's that?
It's coming on.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's really
It's
coming
really
on.
cool.
Even though we haven't had the rain, it's still starting to.
I know, it looks great.
If we get a good rainfall, it's really gonna go crazy.
We have a plan
In there.
with that guy.
okay, so we'll
Ready.
tentatively, we'll meet on the 12th of July.
I won't be here.
But I'm just saying tentatively, we
Yeah.
could cancel the whole meeting and put it off till August, but,
Which is not unusual during the
Right.
summertime, moving up, losing a month or one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we'll
Yeah,
check
we'll
in
work
with
that out.
Niles,
Yep.
see if we got anything that we need to discuss.
Good Niles? Yeah, he's
Yeah.
thumbs up.
I have a crazy, I thought, as an aside to the pickleball comments we got, I thought Dan Levine had a really good idea about making, we talked about hockey in the town, like making a roller hockey, or, kids play in my court all the time. I think
We talked
the
about that
town would
before.
love that. If we
thought-
could just use one of these,
We talked about that 10 years ago. We thought it would chew up the surface, right? The rollerblades? That's why we
Yep.
didn't do it.
Yep.
It would chew up the surface.
But they do those, it's not if it was just like a blacktop, like
Yeah,
a
it's not
basketball
blacktop,
court,
that's
that's
fine.
fine.
oh, the tennis courts aren't?
Yeah, those over actually have the slurry on it, just like they have them on there.
Oh, yeah,
It
yeah,
would
yeah.
chew it up.
Yeah.
Well, could you, what, could
Well,
we
could
do
we-
some, could we
could we
do
do-
something like at a basketball court?
Could we do it at Stevens? Yeah, because we got
Or maybe
the
even like
basketball courts there.
Elgin, just, put up a fence around the basketball court and throw a,
That's always, that's something we can discuss at a
Oh, yeah.
later date,
Yeah.
but that's a great idea.
I like that idea. I think you'd get a lot of use, because I got
But
kids.
something without a, like I said, I think Elgin and Stevens facilities, that they don't have a.
There's a ton of kids in my court that are always out there doing a roller hockey. I think it'd be a good idea. Anyway.
All right,
All right, item 3, fishing tournament review.
that's me. Okay, so we have a recommendation. The numbers have fallen off greatly over the years. And we only had 30 participants this past year. And most of them were children of the
Thanks, Dylan.
staff.
Thank you.
So anyways, we are
Thank
visiting, the idea is actually
Have a good night.
stopping the tournament. I mean, just no longer doing it. Poolsville is not what it was 25 years ago. And so, I discussed it with Wade and Kathy Butman and everything, and we're kind of consensus, it's like, doesn't warrant, because, I have staff there, $500 worth of prizes, fish, it's just the whole thing is, it doesn't, cost doesn't justify the end on it. So my recommendation is, I'd like to have the fishing tournament done, due lack of participation on there.
The apathy club meeting is canceled.
So it's up to you guys. It's not, I don't know how, we've never stopped something like this. I don't know if you guys can vote on it and the commissioners have to vote on it, or, I'm not sure.
Is it a budget item?
I mean, it's
Not really, because wait a minute, Niles has something to say.
Yeah, I'd say one thing, just because the events as a whole are presented to the commissioners as part of the budget.
Not really,
I would just say to
wait a minute,
make a
Niles has something to say.
recommendation, and then we can present that to the commissioners.
There we go. Thank you, Niles.
Something about the commissioner.
Presenting it to the commissioners, yeah.
Our recommendation, do the numbers?
And so I don't think I don't think I can, put it on the floor, because I'm not a voting member. One of you guys would, or you guys discuss, say, we'll continue with it.
Yeah, now we just say something per
Should
recommendation
we,
from
I mean,
town.
Or recommendation of the Parks, Director of Parks and
Yeah,
Streets,
that's what I
that
say,
the
per
tournament should
recommendation.
be ended.
Yeah,
And-
I
and-
think
How were the numbers
we
before
don't have to
COVID?
make- We're not gonna be able to take.
Same, it was
advantage of
decreasing,
it.
Tim, it was
Take it away,
decreasing.
right?
Wasn't that 2 years?
We are. Or
No,
not us,
Is this
not us,
just-
commissioners would have to.
I
We
mean, do,
advertised it too.
Well,
We advertised.
advertise, I put the
It
signs
was
up.
out here,
Yeah.
So are we suggesting that we as a Parks Board have a magic wand and just end this? Or do we want to say, we've looked at some information over the past 25 years, some statistics and such, other things, feedback, whatever, something that justifies that this is going declining? and
They
it's not
do the
ending.
steady decline of participation.
Dwindling, participation, we recommend to the commissioners that they,
That they suggest we,
that
we have to recommend to them
because it's
an Right.
event.
right,
So we recommend to commissioners of canceling the fishing tournament indefinitely.
or vote to have a study done before you actually do it, which you can do.
Yeah, I mean, you got the number. I mean,
Yeah, Kathy has all the stuff over the years. I mean, before even we had Kathy, I used to run it. We used to have 80.
I used to
Kids.
go to the zoo over there.
Yes, 80, that was 80 kids, and then tack on the parents.
Mhm.
So, we'd have several hundred people, and literally, we had 30 participants, and.
Town staff.
Well, yeah, and you figure, I'm saying, we got some guys that have a lot of kids that were, town staff supplied half the participants,
Yeah.
with the kids and everything. And it's just to the point, I mean, is it feasible? Would it be missed? Which I don't believe so. On it.
So Pat, do you want to officially word it? I know you started to, but Gail, do you want to, or somebody want to wordsmith this for us?
I don't like ending things. But I mean, I get it.
But put it on me,
but
say,
if it's town
just say, hey, Director of Parks and Streets recommends that the fishing tournament be ended due to lack of participation. And just
And
leave
if
it
you
that
get
simple and
if
see
you
where
get
it
enough
goes.
feedback to the, if you get enough feedback to the commissioners, then, you know, and they want, and people want it to continue, then we're gonna have to see the participation numbers increase. you know,
Mhm.
yeah.
I took a note about it, so I'll add it to my notes. Next commissioner's meeting.
So
So are we,
I
so
make
we should
a,
that
I make a
video.
motion that we recommend to the commissioners that due to dwindling participation over the years, that the annual fishing tournament be indefinitely suspended.
Perfect. Well done.
Anybody gonna second it?
Second.
Any other discussion? Indefinitely suspend. All right, all in favor of the recommendation to the commissioners? Aye, okay, we're unanimous. Item 4, Stevens Park Trails upkeep. Preston, that would,
Okay, that's once again, during my travels this springtime, I've noticed that our trails at Stevens Park, which Wade and I installed over 20-some years ago, we've done some patching on it in the past, but it's to a point that we would have to look at either a cap or actually having it removed and resurfaced, a new surface put in, especially around the soccer field. Because there's trees that have, we've had trees there, and the root system has just really humps. We have literally humps in it, and they got to be cut out and patched and everything. So with that said, I would like to have the town engineer get some numbers up for us and see what it would take to truly do it from Collier Circle Pond all the way down to wastewater treatment plant.
So at this point,
And at that time, what we should also look at too, the trail is actually closed at the water treatment plant now because of the construction going down there. But once it opens back up, in probably another year, maybe 18 months, there's a section of it, because we consider the plant road part of the trail system. But we have about a 100-yard section that's just gravel. And so, people who push in the child carts and whatever, and some older people on bikes, they have a hard time negotiating it. So at that time, we should probably look into resurfacing that part of the road so we have a fluid transition, blacktop to black instead of blacktop, and actually it's millings right now, to blacktop. So if we do this, I'd like to meet with the engineer, if we move forward, say, hey, we need to go from here to just for the safety of the people.
man, that's gonna be upwards of a couple $100,000, I think.
Potentially, because that's a lot of trail.
Yeah.
That's a lot of trail. It's a long trail.
so from our side, we just need a recommendation to the commissioners that they evaluate the situation and
Exactly.
have John Strong
Authorize
come
it.
back and potentially do a years down the road kind of.
Yep, money's
Budgeting.
out, money's out.
I make a motion, we recommend to commissioners to,
Study.
ask the town engineer to, do a
Feasibility.
or not feasibility, it would be a, cost, analysis on trail replacement from really Wooten Avenue,
Wooten Avenue.
all the way to wastewater treatment plant, including
Yep.
the unpaved surface at the wastewater treatment plant.
Perfect.
Anybody got any more comments, or second it first, or whichever way you want to go?
Second it.
You'll second it. Pat? Tim? I guess now's when I ask for any more comments or any questions.
Wooten to Stevens, but I bet you, I've never run back in the trees.
So everybody in favor? Anyone? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Nope. Okay, we're good.
That was your best one.
That was good.
Concise.
He was getting really good at it. Wait till the next one. He's gonna roll all the time.
Fourth time today, pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know how I keep getting.
So Niles, would you be able to chime in on the Fisher Avenue speed study?
Niles has a,
West Road.
yes.
Niles, would you be able to chime in on the Fisher Avenue speed study? So the commissioners requested looking at Fisher Avenue, and we'll talk a little bit about what we've done so far, but we also did a study. The first half of which has been completed, the second half they're doing now, you can see they're out in front of Town Hall. What we found is that there is really excessive speeding in this area.
usually then?
What's that, Tim?
Ferry's closed.
I drive down there like 5 times a day.
And so that's part of what we sort of talked about. One thing we saw was a range of speeds from very low, from 11 to 15. Also a couple that were 60 or 70 miles an hour. Those tended to be at about 11 o'clock at night. So we tended to see that more when there was sort of the rest of the traffic around. So that sort of is the main thing. So we're looking at it more or less from a speed perspective. So, for example, this wouldn't trigger the speed bump policy, but on the other hand, we are looking at it from how to deal with volume and how to deal with traffic control. So we've done a few things, and we'll talk about that. But the main thing is that properly speeded at that 25 miles per hour, given the prevailing speeds and the conditions. So if you have any questions on that part, let me know.
Isn't part of that road 30 miles an hour in one section?
Yes, but that's where the county has jurisdiction. So within this part of that road, 30 miles an hour in one section.
That's what I said.
From Wooten to Elgin, that's all 25 miles per hour. As it is by code, we talked about last time. By code, down Hanging Road, that's 25 miles per hour.
There's a section that's 30 miles an hour.
30 miles an hour is from into town up into Woburn.
I thought there was a section in this area.
No, this is all 25 since we.
No, I realize, no, Preston?
It used to be. It used to be until we took over the road. We changed all the signs.
We did change, okay. All right. Good,
I think he's ready for me. All right, guys.
thank you.
All right, in the past 2 weeks, if you've noticed, we've put some additional traffic signs up for speed, and we also have a radar one now that captures your speed. What's nice about these units, we can actually download how fast people are coming. We can keep our own data now. And we have one in front of Dr. Pike's office, and then we have one down as you come in, right where Dollar General starts.
Right there.
And so, we have it, so it shows your speed. Once you eclipse 30 miles an hour, it starts to, just the numbers start to flash. And then once you hit 35, the red and blue flashing lights start to strobe on it. So with that said, we're hoping, once again, that we'll have people more aware of their speed. Then we also, Wade instructed me to put in some additional crosswalk signs in the middle of the road.
How'd that work out?
Well, less than 24 hours for the first one, and the car hit it so hard, it knocked parts off the car. So that just tells you what we're dealing with.
And the one is dented in front of it.
Well, that one, it's imminent. We're gonna be picking that one up too.
So you think someone actually like targeted the
Oh,
sign?
Well, they left their parts.
It wasn't in 2 hours, and I saw a truck nail it.
They just not paying
And
attention.
and that's what's kind of dangerous about
So
our
funny. People
crosswalks,
don't.
that people don't pay attention and just think that could have been you figured that was a fluorescent sign. And somebody hit it with a small car and the grill and parts were there.
I think the problem
So
is
to be
people don't
hit, if you're going
understand the law.
25, you don't lose parts like that.
Yeah.
No.
So they were getting it. So anyways, with that said, the town, Wade has instructed me, we have moved forward. We're trying to help with our visibility with the crosswalks and also try to, the speed. Now, fortunately, our volume, he says it's up. That, just think, that's without the ferry. So now that's another caveat. Once that comes on, it's going to eventually open back up. So now we're going to add an additional amount of cars. So we do have to look at the long term, more people. We also have another development going in potentially on West Willard that's going to add vehicles to our whole thing. So volume, and I've noticed as a worker, before we had a morning rush for school and everybody leaving town to go to work, coming back in the evening, but now people work at home, so it's a flow all day. So we've had to adjust how we work for our safety. and the people are out all the time. And
I-
before, so that's something that we gotta to look at.
We've had to adjust how we work for our safety. Add one other thing, which is just that we're of course having a street project that is funded through the federal funds that we have. So that will address a lot of this stuff as we go through it. But this is just a sort of to let you know where we stand right now.
He was talking about streetscape.
The
Talking about
streetscape, there's a
federal funds.
streetscape project.
The money
that-
Trone promised us in the States,
Yeah.
got their fingers in it now.
He gave it to us.
Well, yeah, old Trone, he gave it to us.
He gave it to us.
I think the biggest issue is people don't understand the law about crosswalks. Is that the people in the crosswalk have the right of way. And that's where I think, I see it all the time, and that's, to me, it's not about the speed. We know that it's not about the speed, it's about understanding the law of the crosswalk and people, and that's probably the most dangerous part. 100%.
Well, how do we educate people that? You know?
Yeah.
Can we?
I mean,
Yeah.
where can the
Yeah.
town reach out? Facebook or,
I don't know.
a mailer or, something like, I don't know, something, that's what needs to be addressed, I think.
Fines. Someone should get us a ticket.
Yeah. Yeah, or you just have
Yeah.
cops down here and give
I
tickets
know
all
up
day
at
long.
Deep Creek, the word's out, if you go through that by the restaurant there, $250 fine, they give them out a lot. People know, slow down there. You see
Who
it
monitors, who issues a ticket?
out in Garrett County with the state police, they were on
Also
the
the-
state road.
State police will.
Yeah,
be
oh,
there.
people know, they give out $250 tickets, a lot, yeah.
And we talked about doing lights actually in the crosswalk, right? But that's a
That's
significant
uber
cost.
expensive.
What's that?
That's uber expensive,
Yeah.
and it's subject to our weather situation in this area. It's better
But I
for a
think the
small-
lights that we put up already, they really are.
I've noticed a lot of, the
A lot of
majority
people are using
do stop.
Yes.
I mean, I walk it every day,
Me too.
and it was a lot better than it was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's getting bad. That's where I see the biggest issue is people not understanding it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, in all honesty, probably, I would say 70 to 80% people that are traveling through the town, live in this town, they know where the crosswalks are, they've all been exposed to it, and you either choose to abide by it or you don't, and that's the problem. I mean, it's all residents that are probably some of the biggest violators that we have.
Well, what about stop signs? People go through stop signs all the time.
Yes.
No one coming, I can go through a stop sign, what the hell, you know?
Yeah, I
I'm
think.
not me,
I
but,
th-
yeah,
I
people
don't
go-
think we had this kind of, like, we can't, if we put a speed bump where everybody was speeding, the whole town would be a speed bump.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's just-
And it comes down.
Just outlaw
to,
cars.
As we've always said, Poolsville, we have a lack of police presence. Everybody knows that, everybody. But just think, if you do get a ticket every once in a while, then all of a sudden it does,
Word spreads.
it makes a difference. But, come on, guys, you guys live here, how often? And
There's
so-
a lot of police in there.
Last week, there were a lot of cops out here.
When you
There
get
are
in the
cops out
habit of
here
like this,
during the day.
your speed creeps up a little bit, you might do the California stop sign thing, because guess what? Ain't nothing gonna happen. So somehow we have to get a mechanism back in here to say, hey, it's gonna cost you a little bit. And I think they've tried to look into that recently. Barnesville did it by hiring off-duty police
That's
officers.
what I was gonna ask
So
that.
I don't know if that's something we should talk to them about, use their model. I think they had grant money there or something like that, but anyways, I think if we had a police officer once a week on a random day, and literally for 8 hours.
They also put $100,000 sidewalk in. To the post office.
Yeah, but I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
It's a cool sidewalk, though.
I think the biggest thing is.
I've never seen the one on it,
We
but
need a
it's
little
great.
police presence, just to keep people honest.
We do have, Commander Hattenberg's coming to the next, next commissioners meeting, and we have spoken with Barnesville about it. And I don't think it's very, very popular, honestly, but I did make a proposal to the commissioners that we consider, because it's, we consider hiring an off-duty police officer, because there's been a lot of emails, get to the emails to the commissioners, about rowdiness at McDonald's and complaints at Dunkin' Donuts, and not to mention the cars kind of, and it's really scary when one car stops when they see the flash, and another car goes around them because maybe they don't pay attention.
happen multiple times.
Oh,
I've seen
that's
that
so
happen a lot,
frightening, yeah. So, yeah, but the thing is, and I can see both sides of the coin, because clearly we pay taxes from Montgomery County Police to cover our area emergency services, and then we don't get it.
Who's coming to the meeting?
But the flip side of that is,
Commander Hattenberg,
we have a
When
really
is that?
low crime area,
July the 20th.
but it's a good thing.
Can we all,
I'm just saying, that's why, and the
Guys.
police even tell us.
can we all be here for that meeting and talk to the police?
welcome, absolutely.
You guys want to go as a group?
When is that?
July what, 20?
It's July, I'm almost positive that the meeting, Commissioners' meeting was moved from Monday the 19th, which is called Juneteenth, thanks,
Well, it'd be
to
nice.
Tuesday the 20th, July 20th.
No, that's it.
So, Tuesday that it is the 20th, actually, Commander Hattenberg is actually retiring, so another week after we'll be using that meeting. But, we can certainly have all these conversations then, but it is the 20th.
20th of June?
Correct.
So you guys want to be here? And gals? I'm sorry, Gail. I didn't
should be able to be here, I think.
Send out a reminder, we'll
Had
come
a,
and
had a
talk.
question too, Jeff and/or Niles. So how did the conversation looking at Barnesville go? I mean,
That was really just to find out, how they organize it. Do they hire an off-duty police officer, which they do? How much do they pay? What hours do they expect them to be there? That kind of thing, so.
so is it still
and-
something under consideration then, or was that the end of discussion kind of?
I floated that, honestly, I'll just be honest with you, I floated, not that I would be dishonest anyway, but I floated the idea by
So
email
honest.
that we hire off to, anyway, it got some ruffled.
The feedback was not
The
positive.
feedback was not entirely there. And again, I can totally see both sides of the coin, because, all of us pay our taxes. Part of that is emergency services provided by Montgomery County. And then, it's like we don't see any police coverage whatsoever. We beg for it now and then, and it just doesn't materialize. So do we just do nothing and whine about it, or do we do something? So right now, we're just whining about it. Well, I mean, we are, yeah.
Right.
So Preston, I guess, the things that got hit here on the street, are they expensive? Are they,
$350.
they are, okay.
Both of them?
One of them's got a hole in it, I noticed today.
They're both of them?
Yes, they're both today.
Have you seen the one in front of McDonald's? It's got like a hole in it.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna be gone before you
It
leave.
wasn't there yesterday.
Yeah, no, I was just getting curious as to, if that's not,
Smash into
We
it.
have to
That's-
have
they're
it
expensive, yeah.
flexible in case foreign equipment comes through, or a big vehicle comes through, or people do drift over and hit. I just can't put a metal pole.
right.
Mother on her cell phone in a minivan. No, mother.
So we don't need, I think this was just an update for us. We don't need to make, we don't need any action
No,
here.
it's just an update, but we've tried, as,
Right over it.
Wade and Don and I've worked on, trying to work on, awareness of the speed and awareness of people in the crosswalk. And I tell you what, the one we put down at the, elementary school, I think really had helped a lot.
Yeah.
The lights.
And believe it or not, it shows up better now with the green trees and stuff, and that stuff is flashing, it really gets your attention. Where this can kinda get lost a little bit.
Especially
Down there,
when the sun goes down.
you can get
You
lost.
can't come, yeah, look,
But
you
anyway.
can't see it.
Well, we're always looking at ways to make the roads safer, for everybody, and, we're always looking for suggestions, and, Wade's always been pretty progressive with, moving forward with things. And I do like the thing, and now we can actually download our own information too, which is nice. That's Niles, he's the techno me, not the Give big thumbs up. He's techno me, and I'm physical.
So next item, I'm actually throwing something on the item here before we jump into old business. I did send an email, I guess, just questioning the basketball courts over at Stevens, the surface. It just seems like we've got so many seams, and then after a rain, we got a lot of puddles, yeah. I didn't know if that was something that's,
Area, you see, in the past, we went the extra mile when we had the slurry put on top. When you put the slurry in, it even makes it even flatter.
Right. I thought they would do that.
Not on that one.
Oh.
No. That was it.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
It's tough to get, if you even look at a decent sized driveway, it's tough to not have seams in it. Yeah, and it's, the feedback I've gotten from the basketball folks is that they love it.
Oh, yeah, no, everything I've heard about the new backboards and nets and all, they love that.
But the puddling doesn't seem to stay for days.
Right.
It normally, it's a very shallow pan on there, and you can see the seams, but you figure on a large piece like that, there's gonna be but it's not like a raised seam, but you can literally see it. It's like somebody took a little whitewash and went
Yeah,
down.
that's,
But
yeah, it was
there's
just,
no way
people-
to-
I just
there-
thought I just wanted to bring it up because people had asked me.
Yeah,
That's why,
and
so.
it's more of aesthetics than a.
Pat, it doesn't matter anyway. They're gonna be pickleball courts soon.
Tim, stop.
Roller hockey.
Here's the thing.
With lights.
Here's the thing, the way this works. I mean,
Everything.
hell, we might as well set some pickleball courts up in here.
You can move the chairs, have an indoor meet right here.
Hey, I'm gonna put some lines out on your court in
Hey,
the middle of the night.
it's fine. We've been very accommodating. We have been very, very accommodating as a town.
And they'll be back in 6 months.
I know. But you think about how wide a road is. There's no, I mean, roads have that seam right down the middle because you can't,
Oh, yeah, no, I know.
you know,
Anyway,
just,
we are satisfied with the outcome.
Yeah, no, I told people I'd ask. That's why I was, yeah.
Like I said, it's within specs. Seems to be wearing well so far. So.
Yeah.
And the 3-on-3 tournaments, I think, start here soon and stuff like that, which was, it was really set up for.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, those goals, the backboard, they're beautiful. You know, that's high, classy
I
stuff.
had that when I was young, I'm just telling you. Anyway.
What, you wouldn't be here?
Oh, Tim's bad.
Tammy, I went to high school with no bias, I had no chance.
You get the shooters touched over the double rim and the metal.
Niles doesn't know it yet, but I done volunteer, him and I are gonna take on a couple of players, at the shop. Old guys
Jeff?
against young boys.
Should I grab control of this meeting again?
Jeff better be by in case they need someone.
Oh, that Jack, yeah, CPR. Yeah, will the Stevens AED things be available at that time?
I have a generator, I'll be sure to. But no, seriously, we are running just full time. We gotta get it.
Oh, that's right, you gotta add that to the, okay, so, old business, field dedication policy discussion. I don't know if we had any notes in here or not, but I know we were,
I think now, by now.
Share screen.
You'll see this is the nomination form. And it's just gonna show you, I put up the policy as discussed, such as individual who's been appointed, a individual who's made significant contributions to the town and community, the name with level of significance, that kind of stuff. And then we're just gonna put in the person who's nominating, puts in their information, and then they put in who the nominee is, and then they fill out the significance or community, the historical community significance of the individual being nominated. So based on our conversation last time, we wanted to have, again, more resident input on who should be on the list. And so I put this together based on the Ray Marshall form, what we had last time. And so I just put this together. Basically, my question is, does this make sense to you guys? There's something else we should add, take off? Do we want to have all the information? Do we want to have more? That kind of thing.
I think this is great.
good, yeah.
I think it's great.
Question, do we want there to be, do we care, does the person who is nominating someone, should they be a resident of Poolsville? Does that matter? Is it on there? I can't read that.
Yeah, so that's the first part. So the first part
Okay,
is the resident's name.
okay, so they have to be,
Someone from Poolsville
okay.
be the person nominated. That it has, I can add that to the instructions on the top, but
Okay.
say that you actually live in six.
And how would be our process? Do we have to come up with something like that as to how then we review it?
That was second part that I wanted to add. The way that it makes sense to me, this would be our process. We might have to amend it, but the idea is that we could, have these submitted to the office staff, prepare them, and then give them to the parks, board to review, and then you make your recommendation to the commission. So that was the way that I was kind of envisioning this. We might have to just amend the policy to include the board, but that was my thought, and then you take it what you want to do.
Sounds good to me.
So the Parks Board does the vetting.
Yeah,
They would come in, present to us, I guess.
I think that's
Or
the
do- oh.
presentation.
Yeah, so
Would that be, would
guys,
we
we'll have to take
want,
that a lot more seriously than,
yeah, would we want the person making the nomination to attend our meeting and give a talk?
That could be a part of it, we could put that in the instructions.
Do we want to be on that side of the, yeah, on that side of the evaluation process, which includes presumably,
Why would change it?
you know, sort
we
of-
didn't have any formal.
yeah.
The regs say and fields, but we never
No, but.
had anybody
this
ask.
actually- So we talked
I
about
wasn't
naming
here.
the fields, but this started a broader conversation of, hey, who came up with this list? Is it just town staff, or is it just, hey, this person served this board for 10 years, put them on the list? Or do we get some, the historical figures, that type of stuff? And I think that's where,
Can't see you.
I think that's where this form that Niles is presenting came from. It's like, hey, how do we actually formalize the process of getting on the list? And then, I'm willing to table the field dedication to another. Until we have people come in and say, hey, I'd like to do this, then I don't think we need to vote on it, you know what I mean? It's in terms of the field dedication.
Oh, you mean actually dedicating or,
You're coming in requesting to name a field.
oh,
You see what I'm saying?
no, you lost me.
Okay.
Instead of doing the
So what I'm
process
saying
now,
is, I think the
Do it when we
conversation
actually
actually
have
should,
it.
instead of being focused on the field dedication as how this all started,
Mm-hmm.
I like that we backed up and we're talking about the process of getting on the list to be honored by getting something named.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so we're backing up the process to it not just specifically being a
Correct.
field,
Yeah,
right?
so
Okay.
streets.
Yeah, well, that's what, yeah, that's where I guess we found out. It's already in the regs that it's streets, parks, and fields.
And fields, right.
Yeah.
But I'm not, like, we asked, somebody asked us about the fields, but they haven't been back to say, hey, I'd like to formally do this.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think by getting this up there, we're gonna get the, I think a broader list of names that we can use to dedicate things.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mostly streets, right? But,
Yeah.
other things as well. But to your point, Doug, do we want to be the vetting process?
or how deep in do we go? I mean, we're looking for criminal reports, looking for, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
so I'll tell you that, maybe you too, but when I did what I did, that was one of the things that I got to look, review of.
You might find something you don't expect to find.
Yeah. You know, then what do you do? I mean, there's, for where I was from at, in Aztec, it was a whole different process. Here, little town, you know, we gotta see what, it's probably something that, we have Wade talk to, the attorney about.
yeah.
Do they
That's
see
a
any,
good
foresee any problems if this is the way the structure is set up?
It's a really good.
That is a good question. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's like a shining star, but it turns out,
Yeah.
So, yeah, but then how do we,
so that's what he's saying, do we wanna be the
Arbiter.
Yeah.
Well, I think there could be some vetting that's done.
But how far do we take it? Do you do, like we're saying, a background, some kind of background check? You know, even if it's an informal, but who's doing that?
I'm sure
Yeah.
there's a service we can run it through.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what.
And we could look at, so like, for example, when the Brickell property was here, they proposed the name Ruth Fisher, who was the property owner of the Brickell property. They submitted, Jameson submitted, historical information about her.
That's
So,
it.
that's an example
Bless you.
of where we can go through a process like that. Because they have to share some information that would be considered, I mean, include something in the form that is a, like, upload, supporting documentation or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that would be good. But also, we should, also, I think, hire a background check service. Seriously,
You know,
you know
I
what I
thought
mean?
he was still talking. I don't know, it seems like also, but,
You guys need to hit your buttons if.
yeah, let me think.
Just so YouTube.
I'm gonna think what I want to say first. I may not say it. No, I mean, I've been on this board for a long time, and I don't know, I kinda like the way we did it. But it seems like we wanna do the latest and greatest now, and forget about people 20, 30, 40 years ago who were great in this town and did something. I don't know, just because, I mean, we've had people who passed away and they wanted a park named after them. That didn't meet the criteria, but hell, there's been a lot of people in that same situation, you know? I don't know. Are we making it too broad? Too simple?
Well, there's criteria.
Well, but we're changing it.
No, all the criteria stay the same. What we're doing is, instead of just the town staff or the park, coming and putting those names on the list, you know, if there's a historical significance, that's where, like Ruth, like the Ruth, Fisher, right? Like, that's a historical significance. They've supported, the Jameson presented supporting documentation.
What would the name be?
That falls under.
What would the name be?
What's that?
What would the name be? Ruth Fisher?
Oh, I don't know.
We already
I'm
have a
just,
Fisher.
That
I'm
was
using it as an
This
example.
was for top lot,
Oh,
in
okay.
particular,
Yeah.
the top lot that in that new development.
Ruth Fisher tot lot?
Mm-hmm. Because it was her property that.
She's a teacher.
Right, it's just an example. Is that they, you know, people can put people from 40, 50 years ago that have done a ton for the town,
Yeah.
and they had a historical significance. You know, because I think what does happen is, hey, these people are on the board, they get to go on the list, but what about people that done a ton of stuff that never served on a board or anything?
Well,
you
what
know
about
what I mean?
people who work for the town?
Or like a Skip Etheridge, who's
What about
name
Wade,
should definitely
like
be.
Wade Yost?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it gives the opportunity to not just have a name and everybody be like, I guess he was a cool guy. It gives the opportunity to say, this guy was
Well,
cool, this guy was good because of these reasons,
Or
so that
gal.
we're
Right.
educated. Gal,
Or gal.
exactly, non-binary, you know, it could be, it just gives us the opportunity to know the reasons why that person is on
You had to
the
go there.
list. Woke culture, baby, what's that?
No way. Not me, man. Old
Oh.
school, baby.
Oh,
Old school.
Oh, hold on.
you didn't have.
Okay,
you
we
didn't
like
have
the
to-
form.
I'm not changing. I'm not changing.
I think we like the
So,
form,
and we-
plus- but I think there should be an upload.
Yes, I was gonna say, add that part.
An upload, yeah,
Thank you, Niles.
by-
Niles, you got anything else? All right, jump to Jeff, Town Commissioner Liaison Report.
You got 3 minutes.
Oh, actually, no, hold on, I passed Preston.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Preston.
Sorry, Preston. You're good? Okay.
Well, maybe this will come up with Jeff. I got some questions. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, we'll jump to Jeff.
Okay, we had the commissioner meeting on June the 5th, that was Monday. We had some special guests, David Fraser Hidalgo, he's a delegate at the state level. We also had Delegate Linda Foley, and we also had Delegate Lily Key. David Fraser Hidalgo noted that the budget was passed, $55 billion budget. In there was, I don't actually clear about this, but It's something to do with electric vehicles and electricity storage, and more electricity storage from solar. No, sorry, we have more electricity from solar than we have from coal. He also mentioned White's Ferry, and he is working on trying to get Governor Moore connected with Governor Youngkins. Oh, thank you very much. Youngkins in Virginia. And the Delegate 15 team, which is David Frazier Hidalgo, Linda Foley, and Lily Key, sent a letter to Governor Moore urging him to help with the situation at White's Ferry by bringing it up the level to Governor Youngkin. Delegate Linda Foley mentioned that she's on the Environment and Transportation team. They recently passed a Child Victim Act in 2023, which eliminates the statute of limitations on child sex abuse. She said they also passed an earned income tax credit. Also, she noted that there will be a wind energy farm 11 miles off the coast of Maryland in the ocean. She said they also passed a bill banning invasive bamboo species in Maryland, and there was a move to control invasive plants. Pardon me. There's also a $2.2 million grant for District 15, that's us. Part of it's going to Riverworks grant, that's $200,000, and also to BlackRock, that's $250,000. Sorry. And also, she is having a what she calls a latte with Linda at Locals on June the 17th from noon until 2 o'clock. So please join her, ask her any questions that you might be interested in. Lily Key spoke by Zoom. She was interested in medical leave insurance for private employers plus Maryland government employees. Let's see here, what else we have. Also notice that there's the ribbon cutting at Crossvines is coming up. If I got to write down.
Monday, right?
Was it?
I think Tom said it was Monday.
It is Monday, yes. Okay. So a number of us have been invited to the ribbon cutting at Crossvines, so we're looking forward to that. Also regarding White's Ferry, explore the possibility, well, there's a possibility, I guess, for thinking about a different landing spot on the Virginia side, which would be downstream, but that discussion is in the very, very early stages and it would take quite some time. Martin gave an update on the, I'm sorry, I don't run out of water here, on the Planning Commission. The Bricken project in regarding the tot lot was too small at 50 by 50 feet. They made changes to the tot lot to be a little over 1 acre. They expect.
Whoa, hold on, back up, stop. So what'd they do?
Do you remember when Mr. James?
Yeah, I know we talked, but
Okay.
they're saying the area that they're requiring is now an acre?
He said he wanted to be an acre?
Yeah, a little over 1 acre. I think it was 1.1 acres.
So, but what are I was gonna say, what are they, are they gonna have an open field? Or do
I
they-
didn't see a plan. I didn't see a layout.
And I think, didn't they say,
Does that, I'm just curious too, because I know we were asking for,
In lieu.
money as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wanted both, but what are we gonna do with an acre?
well, and
A tot-
I-
and a tot
they
lot.
didn't say, it was-
That's,
but they didn't say it was contiguous, right?
Well, I think that's assumed, but he didn't say that, no.
Yeah, but I thought at one spot toward the end, they actually said, no, it's not all one piece, so it's parcel, it's a couple.
I suppose that's possible.
No, I don't
Martin
know.
didn't-
Maybe I didn't
Martin
misheard
didn't
him.
say that. So before I lose the rest of
Sorry.
my,
Okay, hold on.
the
Hold on,
comprehensive
guys,
plan.
go back to Jeff.
The target for the completion of the comprehensive plan is August or September, and Martin said the worst case would be the September, October of this year. Ed Reed gave a report on Sustainable Poolsville, partnering with the town of Poolsville on the dual stream recycling. There's also Pick It Up Poolsville on June the 10th. Everything's happening on June the 10th. And there's a need for a recycling bin at Elgin Park. Did you get that, Preston?
Was that, sir?
A need for a recycling bin at Elgin Park. That was brought up by,
Where do they want to put it?
oh, he didn't mention that.
Oh.
I don't have that.
bin or a can?
Well, I wrote, my notes were bin, so
By the field?
I usually use the word bin.
And is Titus picking this bin up?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, because that's kind of, I haven't heard about it then.
People all
Okay.
use the bin.
Now you're in the know.
I've tried that before.
It'd be a dog recycled dog.
Well, he didn't say that, so I didn't. Sarah Paxima gave a report on the fair access. County Council President Evan Glass will set up a meeting with the Oversight Committee. And also, there's a community center, the POR, I think this is probably common news anyway. The POR, which is the program of requirement of, the statement of, I forget what it calls. It's the requirements for building a community center. So the POR was funded it was funded to create a POR for the community center. But that only means that it's a statement of requirements. It doesn't mean that it's going to be built, so that's a whole different thing. But it is a bit of a leg up when you have the funded POR. Also, Sarah's working with Foundry. That's the marketing organization that works with the town of Poolsville, also works with the Fair Access Committee to put together a number of video clips where the local government leaders have stated that they support the reopening of White's Ferry, so we can kind of get them maybe on the hot seat to actually do something. The planning is underway for the Poolsville Day breakfast. Jerry Kubalowski thanked the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scout troop, Post 247 for the Memorial Day celebration. Also thanked Ted Bodmer for having the flag over at the car repair shop. Tom Kettler spoke and said the Poolsville Area Chamber of Commerce is growing. They're up to 160 members. He also mentioned, of course, was very sad about the fire at Bassett's. And they are printing, the Poolsville Area Chamber of Commerce is printing up to 20,000 maps, because the maps are placed in different venues, and they promote the local businesses, restaurants, and the like. And the use of the maps has really been quite good. There was also a discussion about the rubberized mulch, which I sent an email about, so you were aware of that already. Let's see. So the commissioners did vote to, were you already aware of this, Preston? To remove, what was it, remove, replace, or I don't forget.
Remove.
Remove and replace with rubber.
Mulch, yeah.
I thought we were waiting for the EPA study.
Well, I thought we were too, but we're not
So
anymore.
they have moved beyond that, Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Commissioners
commissioners
Yeah.
voted on Monday.
So,
Commissioners voted Monday to do
why
it.
don't we just close off those playground areas until we find out what's going on? If it's dangerous.
Well,
Well,
commissioners
if it's dangerous, we
instead
should remove
voted
it.
to spend the 90,000.
I know, but
That's stuff that was bad.
Yeah, no, I'm not disputing that at all. That decision's been made, so
Maybe we should close off those areas.
I think
Say, hey, it's not
that
safe.
that ship has sailed.
You know, if it's unsafe, close it off.
No, I don't, that ship hasn't sailed. We should.
Oh, it's gone.
No, no.
It's out.
No, it's fine. We understand the mulch, but until they get replaced, rope those things off.
Yeah, because
That's
we want
dangerous.
our money back.
It's
We're
in
up-
motion.
Oh.
There's a contract signed, it's going out,
Yeah, but when is it gonna happen?
imminent.
Yeah, but like, when are they gonna come out and
1 week,
replace the
2
mulch?
weeks.
Are we getting money back from this company? It sold us?
It's
No, it's not the
there's
company.
Nothing wrong with the mulch. They have it.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
There's
Nothing
nothing
with the
wrong
mulch.
according to anybody. But with that said, they had a petition, and the commissioners have chosen to go with the petitioners to have the mulch removed.
But if it's dangerous,
Did you
based
say-
on what the petitioner said, we should rope it off.
You say.
So, all right, so let's
Caved.
back up. Pat's point is, as effective immediately, we should rope off each of these parks. And that's what I'm, yeah, that's what I'm, yeah.
Oh, that's
I'm-
fine, yeah.
So as a
I don't have any
board,
objection to that.
we can make that recommendation.
Well, if they say it's dangerous and I want to see the science, I mean, I'm all for it. If it's dangerous, close it. You You know, because why are we letting little kids run on it if we know it's just something?
No, I mean, that's a good point, that's a good point, yeah.
No, but, well, the
That's
commissioners
Tim,
made.
that's a valid point, you know,
Yeah.
on,
That-
if
and I'm
they,
not
if they
upset about
deemed it
this.
unsafe to society, which they have,
Right,
I think we should close
close
it.
it
should have,
immediately
yeah.
until we get
Yes,
that guy in.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
And I think we should call Jim Brown right now and tell him to close it.
I agree 100%.
Well, I can text him, yeah.
That little yellow, I'll call him. and say,
Well, it's not up to them, it's up, well, we could decide that.
They would all have to.
And we, what's that?
You guys made the decision to close it, I think it was
Yeah,
fine.
if you guys made the
Yeah.
decision to close it, or to replace
what-
it, we should
what-
close it.
Just because of petition? Hell,
No.
I want a street closed.
No, it wasn't just for that, that was important, but there was a scientific study, and the woman came and
What
presented.
scientific study?
I
Well,
read
I-
this group that she
I will
works
go
with.
back and find it, I don't have it
Well,
with me.
that's part of the thing. They're
Yeah.
still the federal government and all those agencies are doing their study.
Yes,
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 there
yes.
have been other studies,
Yeah, we were
but
waiting
this
for that.
lady,
Yeah.
exactly, that's what
And
our
we-
point was. We
Yeah.
were in a holding
And it
pattern.
supersedes the board. It's just,
We're
it's.
not waiting anymore.
I mean,
Well, obviously.
who brought this?
Yeah.
But you guys took the steps to shut it, to replace it, but you didn't take the steps to protect the people from playing on it in the
Well,
meantime.
We'll do that right now.
Yeah,
think
so
we gotta-
maybe on
no, I
June
think we gotta
20th, you
close
guys
it
should
right
do
now.
that.
No, that was a good idea, that it wasn't thought of, yeah.
We need to.
Again,
I'm gonna continue.
Hang on a sec, before you do. Does anybody have a motion?
Oh, yeah,
Anybody want to discuss a motion and how it might look?
to rope it off?
Yes.
Well,
Yes,
if the
We think we
commission
should, we
deemed
think
it's
we, if
dangerous-
if they've deemed
if
it,
they
yes.
deemed it's
I totally
dangerous-
agree, you're absolutely
If you
right.
guys said it's dangerous by a 5-0 vote
Four.
from a town petition, and if it's dangerous, we've opened ourselves to liability, because you already set the precedent of replacing it.
I understand
So
your
we
point.
should close those parks immediately,
I totally agree, yes.
and that's my motion.
All in favor?
And
Well,
I'm-
we have to
I'm all
sec-
for
we gotta
it.
get a
It's
second
bad
first.
stuff. Get rid of it, but, you know.
Close.
Hang on. We'll make a
so we
very,
have to make a recommendation to the commissioners to close those parks until it's replaced, correct?
right.
I think we
Because-
just do that,
Because
decide
that's the
that
only option
ourselves.
right now. You're not
Well,
gonna,
th-
you're
but
not
ex-
gonna pull off.
except that we're not asking for money.
No, we're not asking.
This
for
is
anything.
technically maybe something, I'm thinking, under our
The
purview.
Commissioners are gonna have to, only have the ones that have the power to shut it. Remember they did during COVID? They roped it off during
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
And God
Well,
forbid
I'm just
someone
asking,
gets
we're not
sick down
asking
the
them-
road.
we're not
You
asking
guys
them
are
for
doing
money.
stuff. You didn't close it, gosh.
I mean, I'm still backing up, do we need their input on this? Because they've already said it's
We do
dangerous.
need their input.
Niles.
Niles, speak loud.
But they don't have a meeting for 2 weeks.
They can call a special meeting.
Hey, Preston, how quickly-
Niles, you can call special meetings, right?
Do you have-
Special meeting tonight is dangerous.
Do you have any idea when it's gonna be removed? No?
Thank you.
So your motion is
I
to
didn't hear.
recommend the commissioners that they close those parks until the mulch is replaced?
If they said it's dangerous, we should close it. We're concerned for the people that could use those
And,
parks.
and liability.
Yeah.
So are we motioning to?
Recommend to the commissioners
Or
that the
they have an
commissioners-
emergency meeting to have that conversation?
Not up to them how they do it.
Yeah, because if they said it's dangerous, they should close it immediately.
So what's the motion?
Motion to recommend to commissioners to close the parks indefinitely until the mulch can be replaced since they have deemed the mulch dangerous.
Yeah.
Potentially, yeah.
Potentially, yeah.
Do it from the
Potentially, then, yeah.
petition.
Yeah, I'll say probably that.
Based on the petition. I second.
Based on the information sent to the,
And if we're gonna
at
run
the
a
meeting,
town
yeah.
like that, then hey.
Tim, Pat. Any other discussion? All in favor of the recommendation to say aye?
Aye.
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 Unanimous.
Who seconded?
Pat. Okay, Jeff, back to you.
Yeah, so we also had a discussion about the Montgomery County Police, which I kind of already covered. Commander Hattenberg will be here on the 20th. We'll talk about the issues over at McDonald's and elsewhere and the traffic. Also, we had, but there was a meeting of the HMD, that's the Historical Medley District, over at the John Poole House. A number of us were invited and went. It was a very nice evening. The woman gave a nice talk about the botanical garden that was over there and how it's grown over the years, and also it has a number of historical plants that are planted there as well. We were also invited, and I attended the Montgomery County Lynching Project Memorial for Mr. Peck, who was lynched near the little church there. I think it's the Presbyterian Church. And there will be a marker placed there. I don't know what the marker is going to say or what it will look like or how big it will be. But that was a recommendation from the Montgomery County Lynching Project Committee. So they had a presentation by several folks at a stage, and then we kind of broke up into little groups to, discuss remembrance and reconciliation. Also, moving on, we're moved to stage 2 on the grocery co-op. So it was decided, just to appropriate $7,500 to work with a financial consultant for 4 to 6 weeks to create a first draft of the financial outlook for developing a co-op, a grocery co-op here in Poolesville. So you may have also seen the market study. The market study was, I would say the market study was favorable. I wouldn't say it's disfavorable in any way. When I read it, I kind of came with the opinion it was a little bit more neutral towards favorable. Everyone else thought it was highly favorable, so that's fine with me. Anyway, the $7,500 was approved for the financial consultant to develop the financial plan. We already talked about the rubber mulch. There was a speed study, which I think Niles already talked about, the direction of the eastbound traffic on Fisher Avenue. 85% of the traffic was below 40 miles an hour. There was a substantial increase in the volume of cars, which Niles had already mentioned. 2 speed monitoring signs were added, one by Dollar General, one over by the elementary school, and those, I think, are working really nicely. There was also discussion about the possibility of having a crosswalk over at Elizabeth Delight, because the school bus stops right in front of the Memorial Church. That's right where Haller Avenue is.
Who made that recommendation? I think there's.
Yeah, about a zillion times, yeah.
Lights.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
I stopped with someone.
So nothing really happened with that, I unfortunately. Wade gave a report, which I think is very important, on the PFAS. That's the contaminants that were discovered on well number 2 and well number 3. The PFAS filters, which are actually giant tanks, I don't know, they're 10 feet tall, Preston, yeah. So when I say the word filter, I think it's like a furnace filter, but it's way bigger than that. Anyway, so the filter was installed and implemented, and it's very early days, but the first sampling indicated that the PFAS were 100% removed. So, again, that's very early days. So the testing will probably continue at least for several more weeks, maybe several more months. So the water at the current time is not being added back into the Poolesville water system. I think I already mentioned this, but I have a few more notes on it. The Montgomery County Lynching Memorial next to the community gardens near the Presbyterian Church. So another question that nobody has an answer to yet: who will own the sign? And will the commissioner sponsor the sign? So that's an open question. I want to commend Niles and Wade and Bill McDonald from the Poolesville Seniors Club. Poolesville is the first municipality in Montgomery County to have an outdoor AED installed in a secure cabinet, and that's located at Stevens Park. Now, also Montgomery County Fire Rescue Services, because there was no such thing before now, they did not have a protocol for acquiring the AED when it was needed. So I really appreciate Wade and Niles establishing a protocol with Chief Radcliffe at the ECC, so that when the AED is needed, you call 911, They tell you the code to open a cabinet, you can take out the AED and use it. And so that's really quite remarkable. Also, we probably have seen, road paving is underway, and there's a whole document on the website on what roads are going to be done and what schedule is. Titus Trash, Titus Trash contract has been signed. It begins on July the 1st. They are proceeding to start on July 1, and they will be delivering the trash bins around the end of June. Background where the comments around the flagpoles, okay. And that is it. Yep. Anybody still awake?
All right, anybody got any questions for Jeff?
I make a motion we adjourn?
I have
Second.
one thing.
I got one
Sorry.
I have no question. I just am wondering if it's possible that the meeting actually start at 7 o'clock. We have a lot of technical difficulties every month, and it's difficult for me to hear you, Niall, so I missed half of what you said. I think it makes us look silly to the citizens when we're starting 20 minutes late repeatedly. Is there a way that we can get this meeting started on time without technical challenges? Sorry to be critical, but it just makes it difficult for me to hear, and it makes us look silly.
Yep.
I don't know who I'm asking that to, I'm just looking at you, Niall.
I got a question for Jeff.
There is a whole new
Hang on a sec,
system.
let him.
Oh, go ahead.
Probably by the next time you have a meeting, that there will be a new system and new things involved, and that slate will improve a lot of the issues we've had. I mean, the issue we're having now, even looking back to the feedback, is a new one as well. So every time with what we heard, there's something.
Right,
I'm
but,
trying to get everything was up, and YouTube was up, and YouTube and the Zoom was up 10 minutes before the meeting started.
okay.
Yeah.
Just a couple of technical issues.
Not a criticism to you, Niles.
It's
It's
just-
just, we just needed to get started.
It's been going since before you were here.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying. What I'm saying is we're addressing it.
Okay,
By the next time,
thank you.
it will be fixed. So we're on a consistent.
You're the man, thank you.
I got one quick thing. What's going on, Preston and Jeff, the water, lack of rain? No, I mean, I know you can't rain, but is there any talk about water rationing at all?
Yes, Wade has already sent out the voluntary,
Okay.
I wouldn't use the word rationing.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't use rain, too strong a word.
Yeah.
However, are we telling people also that don't water during the daytime? Because you waste
I don't have
water?
the text of it. Wade recently sent it out.
Not, we're trying to answer.
Okay.
Is that we are not putting specific parameters on it when you use water, when not water.
Okay.
What we are saying is that we're asking you to conserve their water.
Okay.
That's right, to set back on using it frequently,
I get you.
your water resources on your lawn and such like that.
Good, okay.
And
I hope it rains. All right, thank you.
And on a side note, the town is very active with monitoring our wells.
Good.
and
I know
looking
they're-
at past history. So if there's anything that shows, we will take action as fast as we can.
I remember the drought we had back in the 90s,
Yeah.
and it was
So
tough.
anyway, we're aware of it. At this point, the
Yeah.
wells haven't showed too much
Yeah.
different movement, but as we know this year, it's different. Actually,
Yeah.
it's a 2-year cycle, guys. No snow for 2 years.
Right.
You can't believe how much that affects our water table.
Oh, yeah.
Snow melts slow, just as the rain goes off, whatever you give out.
Thank you.
Pat, you ready again?
Got it?
Yeah, there was a motion on the table to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Thank you, Niles.
thank you all.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Niles.
Niles.
Good night.
Thanks, Niles.
Thank you all.
Thank you,
Who seconded it? Tim?
Tim.
Hey, thank you for bringing that up.
Second the DD.